Slide. Um, those of you who are with us, how are you? We'll just get started now. My name is Brian Klein, um, aquatics director at Waynesboro. This is going into, I think, like 82 years at Waynesboro.
I think it's 82. I think it's
The
82
gray
now.
beard does show.
Congratulations.
So, anyway, I think it's like 35 or something like that. I don't know. We were looking at it the other day when I actually started. 1994 or five, I think, is when I started. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. And then Jen, you can introduce yourself. Maddie, you're on there. And if there's any other coaches that want to introduce themselves, they can do that. And then Mary Ellen and Heather, you guys can tell them what your role is. But here we go.
Yeah, so I'm Jen Barkowski. I think I've been at Waynesboro for 12 years, maybe 13 years now. Love it. Summer swimming's my absolute favorite to coach. It's competitive for sure, but lots of fun. So love the high energy, and I'm excited for the summer. Be great. And I'm getting married this summer, so I'll be with you guys in most of June and as much as I can in July, but mostly June. So excited to kick this thing off this summer.
Thanks, Jen.
Hmm.
Heather, Mary.
Sure. Hi, I'm Mary Ellen O'Donnell. So I'm the chair of the pool committee, um, and really am just here to help support all things swim, dive, and pool related. And then I'll turn it over to Heather.
Yes, hi everybody. Heather Corkery. I am swim team chair. I'm like the Oz behind the curtain of that is Team Snap that you will hear about later. I think this is my third year in this position. I have two kids that will swim on the team, a 13-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old son. Excited to kick it off. We got a
Yes, I should.
great group
That's,
here.
that's helpful to note. So I have two kids also who swim. So my daughter is going to be 17 and my son is going to be 14. So rising senior and freshman in high school. So we've been through it for a while and love it, and just love it so much.
Perfect. Maddie, I don't know if you're able to. I'll just throw it out there to see if you can say hi. But if you are not, that's fine too. I see that you're on there, but if you want to say
Yeah, I'm
hi.
here. Sorry, I'm driving right now, but I can totally introduce myself. So I'm Maddie. I am gonna be a freshman at Bucknell University next year, where I am diving, and I am a senior at Germantown Academy right now. And this is my second year coaching for Waynesboro, and I loved it last year. And another diver who I dive with, Ford Murphy, is gonna be the assistant diving coach with me this summer. And yeah.
Thank you, Maddie. All right. So moving into our slides, we have a pretty good amount of slides, but we won't belabor on them. We'll try and move quickly through them, just try and give you some basic information. Something like this was done year after year where we would have a little bit of a cocktail party for those who were new. But we thought that this was a great way to not only have in-person slash Zoom to give you some information on what the season would be like, but also to record it for those people who might not be able to come, and then they can go back and you can review the slides. I can even send you the slides too if you want for information that might be helpful. But our website is very good. Heather and Mary do a really nice job with the committee trying to make sure that everything is updated, everything's up to speed. During the season, I might add that, and I'm probably getting off task here, but the Team Snap is the end all be all. Like that's a great place to go to get anything swim team related, practices, donut days, this meeting, the meets, championships. There's so much information in there, and Heather has done an amazing job just trying to get that all kind of imported in there, and it takes a lot of hard work and effort and energy. So we appreciate her work doing that. And if you're not looped in, or your husband's not looped in, or your wife's not looped in, or someone's not in the system, we can definitely add them in, and we'll go from there. But that's just a general overview. As you can see, just introductions as we did. just going over some of the different things that we're going to be talking about right there on the screen for you. Moving into our coaches. This has been updated, but there are a few that might not be on here. As you can see, Brian, Jen, Mac Harmony's back for another year. Kieran Buckley is with Annie Shaw. Those two were with us last year. Laura Carano was with us last year. Betty Barry does our minis, juniors, and all things lessons related to the little ones. She's going to be helping out a little bit more, maybe with the swim team this year around the 4:30 time slot after juniors. As Maddie mentioned, we have Joy, Maddie, and Ford. Joy is going to step in and help when she can. And then Caroline Moyer, who I'd mentioned, my sister Pam, who is actually going to help out as well. And then Leah Mandeville is going to take on more of a leadership role, not only with swim and dive team, but also with managing as well. And then her sister Olivia is actually going to be helping us on the swim team as well. So that's a pretty big staff. That's going to be awesome for all of you. Like I said, you guys can chime in if you want. The pool committee, we don't have to go through each individual. You met the chairs. We decided a few years ago that it was best to split it into two, which was great that the club agreed with us on that because it's a huge undertaking for one person to head it all up. So Heather and Mary Ellen have done an amazing job thus far getting us going. If you have any interest in joining the committee, you can certainly reach out to Heather or Mary Ellen to let them know that you'd be interested in being a part of it. When you do join the pool committee, it is not just the swim team, it's all things related pool. What we appreciate when you come to a committee is that you are looking for the good of all and not just the good of your own. What makes a committee really great is when everybody comes with ideas that not only help your family and the situations you might want or encounter, but just everybody at the club. And like I said to Mary Ellen the other day, I've loved Waynesboro over the years because it's just a family club. It's a little bit different than most of the clubs out there, and it's just really family oriented. These meets really kind of trigger that family aspects of things, bringing everybody together and then actually having those parties afterwards, which is unique to a swim meet. So if you're new to swimming and you go and you see these parties, they don't happen at all swim meets. I'm just being honest with you. But embrace it and love it now because those are the memories that will last forever. Again, hopefully you've taken some time to take a look. Maybe one of your friends is on there. Maybe you can reach out to them if you're interested. But we've got an amazing group of people that are just willing to volunteer, help, step up, and do the things that are necessary to help you all have a great experience. Did I nail that? Anybody else? Good. All right. Maybe Heather, maybe if you want to talk about this a little bit. This is just swim team registration, which I think is come and gone, but I think you could still register. So if you're still interested in being a part of the swim team, I believe you are able to do so, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't recall the exact start date for registration. It was sometime shortly after Easter because I think we advertised it at the club at that event. Registration is still open and live. We did pull down everybody that registered prior to May 1st should have also already been invited to Team Snap, but you can certainly continue to register really up until we're going to shut it down at the end of May so we can get everybody loaded for the start of the practice season. And then if you have interest after that, you could certainly reach out and we could make sure that you get registered and signed up. But the registration is through the website. It's in the juniors section. It's pretty self-explanatory if you go through it. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I do encourage once you're on Team Snap that all communications should come through Team Snap. But obviously, if you're not on Team Snap, you can use the email address here on the bottom of the page, the WCC pool committee. It's just not, I'm just not going to be as responsive because I don't check it nearly as much. I have so many kids sports on Team Snap that I'm like checking it so regularly and get all the alerts. So we do ask that you officially register because again, that's how we get all the information. And yeah, I guess
And thank you for saying that. So they can find that on the juniors page, right? So Waynesboro
Yes.
website, go to juniors page, and then it's down there, right? If you haven't done
Yes.
so already, which if you're here visiting, you probably have done that already. The Waynesboro pool committee Gmail is there. Let me just remind you, this says 15 plus swim to aged. Um, we look for them all the time, and we don't want you to think that it's this taxing, I have to be at practice every day type of thing. Like if you have someone who's 15 and older and you think can help out the team and be a part of it, we understand that they have job, other responsibilities, sports and things like that. But we've had swimmers make it all the way through from their youngest of years all the way to their oldest of years. My kids included started when they were little minis, little, 6-year-olds at the club, and they swam all the way through to the 18s. And they were recruited for lacrosse and all other soccer, all different sports, and had things that they were doing all summer, but they made every meet and they made sure that they were a part to participate and help the Waynesboro adventure. So if you have somebody who's on the fence, reach out to me, reach out to Jen, any of the coaches. We are more than willing to work with them. And we've had kids come to meets, couple practices throughout the season. And then they just love being a part of the experience. So um, evaluations is a big piece of how we do things. Um, we'll be starting that evaluation process on the 1st of June. So anybody who is 10 years of age or younger will be in attendance for that particular evaluation. Um, I
Only,
did for,
sorry, only if it's your first time, 10 and under and a first time swimmer.
correct, because there is no practice on June 1st. June 1st is allowing us as coaches to see who's new, see the swimmers who might have been juniors or minis last year that have made that jump or that progress that want to be on the team that are going to come and get evaluated. And that allows the coaches to get the time to not only evaluate the swimmers, but then focus on organization and putting it all together so that we can be moving forward into the next practice, which would be the very next day. Um, Children under 6 are going to arrive from 4:30 to 5:15, as you can see there, and then children 7 plus are going to arrive 5:15 to 5:45. If you have a problem or a schedule conflict, please just let us know or come, and we're not going to send you away if for some reason you have to be somewhere or there's a soccer tournament or tryout or something. Like we'll work with you. These times are set so that we can be organized, but we're also flexible. With that being said, uh, I see that I have a hand up there. Is there a question for that?
Hey, Brian, it's Juliet Dobson.
Hey, how are
So
you?
good, how are you? So Vivian were on juniors last year, so I think you're saying they should come, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
anybody who's on juniors last year, I'd love to have them come, get an evaluation and get and be seen so that we could see if they move from juniors to the main team because there's a huge difference between minis, juniors, and the main team or being on that swim team.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. And then within that evaluation, you will be told, I'm not sure how we did it last year. Jen and Heather, you guys might be able to help me with this, but um, you get evaluated and then the coaches discuss where that child should be placed. Nothing is set in stone. So don't panic if your child is putting minis for some reason and we want to see a little bit more development, or they're putting juniors because we feel maybe the age is appropriate at that point and we want to just see them kind of progress through the juniors for a couple practices and then possibly move up to the swim team. We've had that happen several times with several swimmers. So don't panic if for some reason it doesn't happen right away. And the swimmer shouldn't get upset even though they might have a goal in mind. And I don't know if anybody wants to add to that, but that's my take on it. All right. We may be the only club in the country club league that offers 2 practices. So you guys are pretty fortunate in regards to that aspect of things. We try to do that because we understand that we have a lot of people that might be doing camps or might be in that day camp, not only at Waynesboro, but also somewhere else. So we try to do the best we can to accommodate and be there for the swimmers and the athletes by offering those two practices. There is no afternoon practice on Friday. We did talk a little bit about not having an afternoon practice every single day, but for right now, we are rolling with a morning practice and an afternoon practice. That morning practice, as you will see coming in a couple slides, will not start. Actually, it might be right here. Um, it will not start until the 15th. Um, but before we get to that slide, children should bring their own towels. We do have a towel service, but we get inundated with towels and having to do them ourselves, and we end up getting backlogged. And then we just want to make sure the members who are showing up for just having a nice day at the pool are able to get a towel and get it when they want it, as opposed to having to wait. So just try to have your swimmers bring their own towel. If they don't have one or they forgot one, of course they're going to be given a towel. But we give these really nice towels out for team gifts and stuff, so we all should have very nice towels to utilize. As you can see, that practice is listed there. June 1st is the evaluation, then the second obviously will be the first practice. The 4:30 to 5:30 slot is going to be our children 10 years of age and under. The pool is usually split. We have half the pool with eight and unders and half the pool with nines and tens. So it's usually like one, two, and three are nines and tens. And then four, five, and six are older, are younger children, eight and under. And then when we get to that 5:30 slot, 5:30 to 6:30 is our 11 and ups. Um, and of course, like we said, we want as many as 11 and ups as we can possibly get. We understand all those commitments, but bring them out. Let's get them involved. Let's get them interested. If for anything, we've found even the kids that aren't totally into swimming make these amazing friendships, not only for the summer, but lifelong friends in the end. So it's a great opportunity for them if they're new and even old to get acclimated to the club and also to some new friends down the road. Um, the diving team schedule is up, and I did post it a little bit later, so we'll go over that in a little bit. The schedule's in Team Snap, as it says there. Diving practices will be added into that as well. So again, Team Snap is like everything. You got everything in there. I miss anything on that? Pretty good there. So, yes, the 15th. The 15th is the Monday. Um, I am correct there, right? Yeah, the 15th is that Monday when most schools should be out. If they're not, many will be getting out that week. But um, we traditionally would go that earlier week with a morning practice, but with so many schools still in, we're going to hold off and just do our afternoon practices. And the pool actually will be open 1 to, I believe it's 8 o'clock during that week as well because of school being in session, and lifeguard and availability for everybody, to be honest with you. Coach Jen and I work at Episcopal, and we will still be in working that whole week before, as well as meetings running into that week as well. So, Jen, anything to add to that? But
I was gonna add eight and unders and 10 and unders. I once we start the morning practices, I would highly suggest the morning times to come. We've noticed over the past few years the morning practices are less attended. So if you want your swimmer to have more attention and get some more like really good work, and it is like that full hour and there's more pool space, and typically we have like solid amount of coaches there. I think it's a really good time to get that core work in. We see a lot of improvement from those swimmers that come in the mornings as well. You don't have to do both morning or afternoon. You just choose morning or afternoon, but that afternoon 4:30 to 5:30 practice is typically packed. I know that's probably most convenient for families and things like that, but if you're able to get there, I would definitely try to make that move.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jen. I'll just echo that from a parent perspective. Because the pool itself is empty for those morning practices, a lot of times the coaches are doing stations through the main pool area, the blocks, the diving well, the clover pool. And so the amount of technical work that they're able to do in the morning is just categorically different than what they're able to do in the afternoon when the pool's crowded. So highly encourage that time slot if you can make it.
And it's amazing that Heather mentions that because we pride ourselves at Waynesboro on not just being a team that's going to get in there and swim tons of laps. Like we want these swimmers to have lifelong experiences. We want them to learn the sport, be engaged, learn a little bit about what they're doing, not only in the sport of swimming, but how to manage adversity, maybe a tough practice or just a drill that maybe they're not able to comprehend. We're going to help them through it, and it's really just a great experience for that. So Heather's correct. Like that morning slot, we can do so much more around the pool, and we make use of every ounce of the pool. So that first Saturday is donut day for those who don't know. So there's a donut gremlin that ends up showing up every Saturday somehow. It's crazy. It was only supposed to be one donut day, but it turned out to be every Saturday is a donut day, which you know what? Awesome. So much fun. And we get a lot of people coming out for that. We sometimes we do a little whirlpool and have some fun, but um, juniors is going to start the next week. So we're not going to do morning practices the 8th, but we will start our juniors practice on the 8th. It should say Monday, I think, right? But let me just check real quick. Yeah, 8th is Monday. So juniors will begin on Monday, the 8th of June. Um, juniors gets communicated through Team Snap, Heather, right? Wrong? Yes.
That's correct. Juniors are on the varsity team snap. The minis
There,
are.
there you go. And you don't have to pay a season fee for juniors, but you will pay per time that you come. So it's like a lesson, to be honest with you, a group lesson, but it's pay as you come. So that is supposed to say $20 there, but uh, the program for juniors and also minis is $20 for each um, each time you arrive for the practice. And then again, Monday through Thursday is when practices will be for juniors. But the first 2 weeks, since we are not running a morning practice, we will have Friday practices because we don't have a Friday morning. So um, we will be having Friday afternoon practice both of those days. Minis will start on the 15th. So that's different than the juniors, obviously. Um, and Betty is interested in putting it all together from a 1 to 1:30. So the reason that is because we used to have two mini groups and then a swim team, and we've moved to a junior team. So that junior is basically the second minis group, just elevated, and then we have that 1 o'clock time slot, which is going to be for minis. Anybody else that feels like they're not able to do that mini practice can do a private lesson and or group lesson. I'm more than willing, some of the other coaches are more than willing to put a group together throughout the day and do group lessons and or individual private lessons. Not sure if this is correct, so Mary, Ellen, and Heather can speak to this.
Yeah, I updated this. So for those that registered early or were paying close attention to the club communications, you would have seen that an online store was opened. It was open for a period of time and closed so that we could get that gear in time for the start of the season. But we will reopen it. We will reopen it for the group shortly. Sorry, I am getting a call at the same time as I'm trying to speak.
All good.
So we will open it shortly. I guess that's the main point with the store.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say we'll probably do it very early, like just at the start, even around evaluation times, so that because it will take a couple weeks once the store closes to then ship things out. So we want people to have their things kind of mid to late season.
So if you haven't picked up last year's swim team gift, we still have them. They're down at the pool. They're in the pool office presently. If they're not in the pool office, we'll be putting them in the little closet that's up top, and we can certainly get them for you. The pool office is not a massive office, so we leave them there for a little while, and then with the amount of staff we have in there, we just need to make sure that we make room. So we'll keep it down there, and you'll be able to pick it up if you have not received it, and your trophies and little medals as well. Swimsuits can be purchased at Toad Hollow. We've kept it pretty basic, pretty not basic, but we try to keep it so that we don't have to go out and buy a new team suit every year. I believe it's the same one that we've had over the course of a few years, which is great. You can pick that up at Toad Hollow, right up on Route 30. If you are new, it says here, totally recommend taking them up. You do not want them to grow into the suit next year. The idea is that they have a suit that fits them and they can swim successfully in it and not have it bagging around and feel like it's going to fall off. Like you want that thing to be a little snug, fit so that when they dive in the water, they're not experiencing any uncomfortable experiences, getting in the water and having that suit be all over the place. So it's recommended to go in and get that sized and not just be like, oh, when they, bought their last suit, it was a X or Y. Personalized caps are awesome. We're actually discussing possibly getting championship caps, which would be kind of cool. We might do the red, white, and blue theme because of the 250 anniversary. And yeah, private and semi-private lessons I've already kind of spoken to you about. We will be offering some start, turn, finish clinics. I'll be getting together with Heather to decide what's best. I don't know if it looks like we might have them on there tentatively.
Yeah, we have 3 dates or 4 dates.
Yeah,
Those are the dates, and they're all loaded into Team Snap, but those are tentative, so they could
perfect.
move.
Yeah, and we do like a sign up for that. We'll try and map it out to see how many people are interested in doing it. It's a great way to just get a little quick blip into a start or turn. Maybe the 17th we would work on starts only, and then maybe the 23rd we'll focus on just doing turns or finishes. If they're younger, we could probably do both starts and finishes, to be honest with you. And then we'll decide those June 7th or July 7th and 16th dates, what might be best for us, what we notice we could use a little bit more work on. And like we say, we go over a ton of things in practice and we make sure that we go over them. But there are certain things that some people just need a little bit extra time with, a little bit extra work with. It's kind of like tutoring in school, right? If you're struggling a little bit with math, somebody can help you out with that and just help you kind of refine those tools. Anybody is more than welcome to come up to the desk and put your name in for a lesson, and somebody will be back to you and get in touch with you within 24 hours to set up times. There's not a book necessarily or time slots when people can come in and say, I want Brian Klein at this time or Jen at this time. What's best for us is if you come in, you give us your name, your number, and we contact you and we set it up to best fit the schedules of the swimmer and also, the coach as well.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'll add to this topic is sometimes we get the question of can I just work with my swimmer on starts by myself in between practices? And I don't know, Brian and Jen, if you want to comment on that, but we don't allow that because it becomes a slippery slope with all of the other swimmers in the pool and it becomes a safety issue. So if you do want to work on starts, it's got to be in either the practice setting or one of these clinics or in a private setting, private lesson.
Yep.
And please don't hesitate to reach out to some of the coaches because some of them will be ready and willing to stay maybe like 15, 20 minutes after a practice or something too. If as long as they don't have another practice after it. But that's usually a best time too. So that could be great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, your meet schedule is up on TeamSnap, but it's here too, right in front of you. All of the meets are important. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can look at these meets and be like, well, this team doesn't have this and this team doesn't have that, so I'm not going to show up. But we've been on the receiving end of being like, oh, it's just so and so, and then you show up and they say, well, it's Waynesboro, and everybody on their team shows up um, to try and beat us. And we've had that with like Philly Country Club is one of those examples. Lanark is one of those teams that's gotten better over the years. We've got a really great little league that we put together here on our side, and everybody's kind of, moving up and down on the ladders there. So we've always had success here at Waynesboro. Winning is not the only thing, but it is a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest with you. So having everybody show up and be a part of the meets makes it a much better experience and a little bit more fun when you're not running around like a crazy person trying to fill roles or fill slots for relays. And it gives everybody the opportunity to swim. If some people don't show up, then you end up with maybe three swimmers, or I don't know, then it makes it very tricky for us. And then you're moving up a 8-year-old to swim in a 12-year-old slot or something like that. So traditionally, we don't have to do that all the time, but if we need to, we will.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is in here later, but I'll just comment on it now. We do ask everyone to RSVP through TeamSnap for the meets, not for practices, but for the meets. And we shut down the ability to RSVP 24 hours in advance because, exactly like Brian said, the coaches put a lot of thought and effort into that lineup. So they need time for that. So hopefully there are not any last minute changes, but we know things happen, people get sick. So if you need to change your response or your ability to attend, we just ask that you would reach out directly via TeamSnap so that the coaches know and that they can make those adjustments.
Maddie, Maddie was going to talk about diving. The diving meets are up there. If you're driving, Maddie, you obviously can't see the screen, so I can
No, I'm good now. I can talk.
okay, great.
Um,
Diving practices is what I was mostly talking about. And then if you want to just give a little blip on what a meet might look like when they arrive, compete and leave, that would be great.
yeah. So, diving practices, every morning we have 9 to 11, and 9 to 10 would be for the younger kids, and I think that would be, um, 10 and under, and then for 11 and up, that would be from 10 to 11. And then, um, we only have afternoon practices Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Um, and Monday and Wednesday, those will be from 2:15 to 4:15, and it's the same deal with the morning practices where they're split by age, and then Friday afternoons they're a little bit later from 4 to 6. And for meets, basically you'll come to the pool and we have a warm up, and those are usually about an hour long, and every kid has their dive list, and depending on the age it depends on how many dives you do. um but every we have a warm up, and we compete, and then yeah, and then you get your award, and then that's the meet usually.
Great. Thank you, Maddie. For those of us who don't know or seen Maddie dive, she is amazing. She is one of the best divers in the Interac. Actually, Ford Murphy is one of the best divers in the Interac as well. So we are fortunate to have literally the best divers in the area helping our kids. So Maddie actually works out at the same gym I do, and she's in there every day, just getting strong, doing her best to keep herself ready to go for all of us over at Waynesboro. So Maddie, we're so happy to have you back, and we're happy to have Ford as well this year. So um, again, don't need to really go too deep into this. Championships is not your traditional swim meet like we have with Our dual meets championship season is going to be literally all the events, all the swimmers. Not the entire team goes. That's something we can talk about, I think, a little bit later, but every swimmer will be included and involved in all of our dual meet swim meets. But when we get to the champs, unfortunately, we're not allowed to take everybody. We are only allowed to take the two top swimmers per each of the events: freestyle, backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly. And then we put together a relay. We try to not make it a favorites type of event. We just take the fastest swimmers and the people who are available for that particular meet. It just makes it a lot easier for us. Now, during meets, there might be opportunities for us to move some things around. It's kind of like playing chess. When you're trying to win at chess, you might have to make a different move than you're traditionally making to try and beat a team. So if your swimmer is moved up in an age group, you might say like, oh my gosh, why is he there or she there? They're there to help us try and do the best we can in the event. And then like you can see there, LaSalle University is where the championship meet will be held. Diving champs, fortunately, is at Waynesboro Country Club. Right. It's a good thing. Volunteering. We need them. We need a lot of them. I think you can sign up on TeamSnap, correct? Yep. So we need as much help as you possibly can. Meets are a lot of fun. And yes, we understand that you want to go and talk and have fun with your friends, but like we also need to make sure that we are putting on a good show, not only at Waynesboro, but when we go somewhere else, we typically need timers as well to help out. And as much as we can possibly get people, we hopefully Mr. Johnson's doing that announcing thing, but maybe he can't be there. And if he can't be there, we always need an announcer. We definitely need runners. Runners is not that hard of a job, really. You're going and you're collecting all the times that are given from each lane and then take it back to the table. Scoring is a little bit more involved, but we could use as many scorers as we possibly can get to learn, not only for this year, but possibly the next year. And then timers are so valid. Like we need as many timers as we can because we traditionally try to have two timers per lane. There's 12 timers at any given meet.
Yeah, all the volunteering is through TeamSnap. I'd say timing is a great vantage point for the meet too, and it's fun. I mean, you're getting to meet people from other clubs. You're up and close with the swimmers and get to cheer them on. So, highly encourage everybody to try these. And candidly, we need you, or else the meets won't be able to run. So, thank you in advance.
Yep.
And I would also just add that Heather's done such a great job of organizing all of the timing and the running. And so while it might seem a little intimidating if you're new to swim meets, that you don't want to like be in charge of timing, it is really, really easy. And so we give you the timer. There's going to be other people who've done it before next to you. And it's one of those things where everyone's like, I don't want to do it. And then they do it for the first time. They're like, okay, that really was not bad. And it's like Heather said, I mean, you're right there. It's really fun. So, and nicely, we've tried, if we get enough timers, we can split it so that you're only doing half the meet. And that is really nice. So definitely sign up to time.
Kind of left this up on the screen. Again, these are dates that you'll see down the road in TeamSnap, but also, you can probably see them on the website as well. So we don't really need to go over them that much. The preliminaries, there's a preliminary day for champs, and then there's a finals day. You need to qualify on the preliminary day to make it back to the finals day. And when you do that, if a relay makes it back, all four swimmers have to come. There will be alternates listed as well for champs. Sometimes the alternates are told to go down because we just want to make sure that we're covered. But we can go over that closer to that time frame. Maybe we can have another Zoom when championships comes around or something like that. The swim banquet is listed there as the third.
And
I believe
that's wrong. It's July 31st.
July 31st is better than the third. So we'll switch that up.
Yes.
But yes, July 31st is the banquet. Another great experience for your little swimmers, and also you as a parent. It's really cool to sit around with some friends and, have a little buffet and listen about the season. It's pretty cool. Donut day, we talked about. Mini meet, mini meet. Waynesboro runs a great mini meet. We have all types of volunteers, from 9 years up. They come and they time and they're a part of it and they give those little ribbons out and they just have such a great experience. It's such a great volunteering moment, not only for our older swimmers, but anybody else that wants to be a part of it as well. We invite Lanark, Overbrook, Aronimink, and I can't remember if Philly Country came last year. I don't think they did, but and then Waynesboro, and it's pretty cool. No stress. Swim a lap, get a ribbon, get cheered, and listen to some music. And then I think there's a great buffet too. So, what summer needs to bring the WCC suit, like we talked about, extra swimsuit just in case, the swim cap. If you don't have a monogram cap, we will have navy blue caps for you to wear. Always have two pairs of goggles. Like we said, bring a towel. A water bottle is recommended. It never gets done, but it's like one of the most important thing the kids should actually have during practice, like a water bottle. So I don't know why. When I do USA swimming, we have all the kids have water bottles. So at Waynesboro, I'd love to see more water bottles during practice, to be honest with you, because the hydration is so important when you're doing practices and workouts and whatnot. And that's for diving and swimming, having that available. Snacks. Ha, a positive, energetic attitude. Yes, that's for sure. Um, uh, Probably continue this year with the word of the day. So we love to sit the kids down and give a word to think about for the day, and then the kids give something positive in regards to that. I did just finish a book, by the way, so I have to tell people about that so people can read it. Um, but it is about raising the standard and having a positive attitude every day and kind of giving you purpose throughout the week. And we try to give our swimmers and the little ones that we have a little bit of a purpose, not only in swimming, but hopefully when they leave the deck, they have a little bit more purpose to life and what they might want to be doing down the road. Swim meets are typically 8.5 to 9 hours. Sometimes they run about 12 hours. They're so long. Just kidding. They are only 1.5 to 2 hours. They are literally a blip on the screen. They're so much fun. They're high energy, high packed energy in a short span of time. They are nothing like USA swimming meets. They are nothing like Martin's Dam swim meets. They're nothing like those swim meets. They are literally like, I'm going to go, I'm going to hang out with some friends. We're going to swim fast. We're going to go against somebody. Somebody's going to win, or we're going to tie. And we're going to have a party afterwards. It's literally so much fun. Um, People don't even understand it until they get there. I will say in this meeting, I will put it out there. It is a dressier event. People like to get dressed up for this event. So it's not your traditional, like, I'm going to go sit in the stands for 6 hours in shorts and a t-shirt. People like to get dressed up. So if you're new, it is a cocktail event. Maybe Heather and Mary Ellen can speak more eloquently towards this, but I've had people like, yo, why didn't you tell me what was going to happen when I showed up to this thing? That's pretty much it. It's a party, but with a swim meet, right? Did I hit that?
Yes, yes. I would say, yeah, I think it's a helpful thing, especially for new people, and if they go to swim meets in other places, because this is where it's in the evening, and I would say women often wear sundresses, and men are in khaki shorts and golf shirts. So
Yes.
yeah,
And it's a great event. 6 o'clock is warm up. 7 o'clock the meet starts. There's juniors that will run a little lap before at all of our home meets, and then there is DJ and dancing and buffet afterwards, and it's a lot of fun. There are meet themes. We're not going to give them to you right now. We'll give them to you as we come up on them. but it's USA, it's 80s, it's things like that. So maybe hit up the thrift store and buy yourself some stuff, getting ready for it.
That, let's be clear, that is for the swimmers, not for the parents.
So
So
we will have a
another
leopard print one
another
night where everybody will.
I just want to be clear, and for any new families, that the themes are for the kids. And so Heather will put all that in Team Snap. It'll be on the schedule, always very available.
All right, we'll try and keep moving through this. We don't have much time left, so those of you who have bared with us, we're rolling right on through this. Meet format and lanes. Just so you know, there will be another team swimming with against us, and then our team will have 3 lanes. They will have 3 lanes. There's a medley relay, a freestyle flat, which means there's like freestyle events only, and then a freestyle relay, and that's it. Everybody counts in the relay. Everybody's a part of the experience. So we want to make sure that you're not just like, oh, Johnny's the only one that really matters in this race. It's everybody counts. Everybody's a part of it. If for some reason you have an amazing race in lane 6, well, then you'll probably move up to a lane 3 event or something like that. You want to make sure that you're always giving your best effort, no matter when you're put into the um, event.
Can I just say one more thing on that for parents?
Yes.
I didn't grow up swimming. I had no idea about swim meets. It was so overwhelming the first meet or two. But once you get the format down, it's really easy and anyone will be willing to help. So you get the schedule ahead of time and you'll know who's swimming in what. And it just takes a meet or two to kind of get acclimated and then you'll be
And then just to kind of hit on this, we do the best we can to get the swimmers in multiple times. But if your swimmers in one event, that's just us doing the best we can to make sure that all the swimmers are involved and into the lineup. If we can get them more than one swim, we will do it. I'm going to be honest, like we base it a lot of the times just on that time aspects of things, and the kids who have a little bit more of swims will possibly have the faster times moving forward. Did I say that right, Jen? Yeah. Uh, yeah, they're not going to get a ribbon every time they swim. Um, Definitely not at dual meets. They will get a free buffet. I think they get the free buffet or something at the end. Um,
The mini meet, they'll get
Yeah, mini meet they'll get
ribbons.
ribbons, and then when you go to champs, if you place top 6, you will receive an award. But yeah, it's not always about getting that ribbon. It's not always about getting a trophy. It's about being a part of something bigger, which is the Waynesboro experience. Hmm. We are like fortunate to have a heated pool, just being honest. So love that. All the pools are heated, the baby pool, the diving pool, and the main pool. So many other places do not have that aspect of things. Um, just always bring warm set of clothes. Sometimes it gets cold, even though it's like summertime, we found like ourselves in sweatshirts late at night. So find yourself prepared when you go to the pool. Plus, when you get like sun, sometimes you get that sun and your body cools off at night. Just always have something prepared, especially for the first couple weeks of June. I might say that it might get a little chillier towards the end. Definitely, I've already said this, food and buffet. At every single meet we go to, possibly not, but I think last year, I think we did experience having everybody had something. Um, Waynesboro has always been the mainstay for people to kind of key off of. In the past, this is going on 30 plus years for me, so I know that other clubs never really did what we do. So we basically started it back in the day with the party and the DJ, and then people were like, "Why aren't we doing that?" And now it's become this huge thing, which is awesome. Huh. Um, as you can see, little quote of the year, we try every practice to give them something focused, and something positive to think about. So, um, this is going on many years for me, as I said, and I just love what I do. I love being a part of the experience at Waynesboro. It's a lot different, like I said, than many other clubs. I've got an amazing staff with me. We did lose a few um, great coaches this year, but we also picked up a bunch of great coaches as well. Um, we are so happy for Jen, and we're so happy that she's coming back with us for the time frame that she is, because she's an amazing asset to Waynesboro. But we're so happy that she's getting married in July 11th. I see what you did there, Jen.
Had to have a party on Coach Klein's birthday.
That's right. Um, so that's all I have. I mean, we pretty much nailed everything. We are always here to answer questions and help out. We're hoping that we'll have good weather this weekend, but it's not looking so good in regards to temperature and weather with rain and whatnot. But we will be there and we'll have our uh, bells on, ready to rock and roll. So positive thoughts breed positive actions, and we are looking to have a positive season. Anything else, Heather, Mary, Maddie, Jen?
I wondered if anybody had a question that they just wanted to ask real quick for the group.
That means we answer.
I have a
I don't
question.
think so.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
ha ha ha.
This is Debbie Farnes. Potentially our first year of our daughter doing the swim team, not the juniors. Curious for like the morning practices, if the kids are at camp at Waynesboro, do they come over for morning practice, or are they better off doing the afternoon? What does that look like?
Jen?
It's a good question. I feel like it has varied over the years just because of the camp schedule and like when they have golf and things like that. So we'd have to talk with the camp counselors. But in years past, we did have some camp counselors that walked some of the swimmers on the swim team up to practices. So hopefully we can get that situated and sorted this year. But again, I don't know what the camp's plan is in regards to scheduling with like the golf lessons or the tennis lessons.
So the answer in short
I
is
know.
yes, they can come to practice. It's just, I think it has to be set up ahead of time with the camp counselors to make it work.
Got it.
And we always end up like asking, we're like, why aren't you at practice right now? Because sometimes they bring the kids to like play at the pool. So my
Yes.
suggestion is if your kid is there to play at the pool, they should be swimming in practice, because it's like we said, that morning time slot is like gold. You get so much individual instruction with those particular practices. You'll notice, I mean, it's not the kids still get instruction. It's just more of a group-based focus with the afternoon. There's a lot of drill sets. There's a lot of focus on helping the kids um, with their strokes. But like when it's like one coach to 12 ratio, that's crazy. Like we're able to give
Yeah. And
immediate feedback.
even in the mornings, we have the 10 and unders on their own for an hour and the 8 and unders 45 minutes for an hour with the full 6 lanes, right? And then the afternoon, it's 8 and unders and 10 and unders for 1 hour. With less of like with just the 6 lanes and less use of the diving well in the clover area. So um,
Yeah, and
definitely
just some
recommended. So we'll try to make that happen, especially when we see camp there. And uh, yeah,
And then just to give feedback, so we are in water coaches, a lot of us. You won't get that at many places. You'll find our coaches in the water frequently. Um, it's a thing that I've started years ago where I'm like, it's so much better for the child if you're able to tap them on the head or give them feedback in the water as opposed to shouting their name from out of the pool. You know, it's a little bit much sometimes. So we try to correct them right away if we can. If we don't see them a couple times because we're, watching all the swimmers, we'll get to it and we'll make sure that they're mapped out and given the instruction they need. But you'll notice that we're always in the water. It's much better in the water. Any other questions for, whoa. Awesome. Did I nail that under an hour? Yes, that's 8:30. Look at that. Fantastic. All right, so that is it. I appreciate all the coaches and managers that were able to show up for us today. And then I appreciate all the people that are here. And those of you who are watching after this was recorded, again, please make sure that you are reaching out with any additional questions. Thanks. Go Waynesboro.
Thanks, Brian. Go Waynesboro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.